it nice and tight. We're on. Big day today, mate. Out at Scone.
Yeah.
Done a solar system out there with the boys. Finished pretty early, I think, actually.
Yeah, we smashed it. It was ended up being a pretty good system. Looks good. It was 2 degrees when we got out of the car, but
God's country, Scone.
Yeah, but no, it was a good day.
2 degrees, felt like -5.
Oh mate, took a while for the fingers to get going.
Yeah. Job went well though.
Yeah, smashed it.
Beautiful.
Looked good.
Back by 3.
Back by 3.
Fantastic. Yep. We love them ones. Who was the best on ground today?
Oh, a young mate, JJ. Yeah,
JJ.
He's really starting to come into his own on solos.
First year apprentice, JJ.
No, he does well. He's really starting to get some confidence and stuff, which is good to see.
Beautiful. Hopefully he doesn't get too much confidence like some other apprentices we have.
Yeah, don't go down that path.
No. Who's the worst on ground?
Oh, God.
Who went? You, Cam, Dill, JJ.
And Ash.
Ash.
I'm going to go throw Ash on the bus. Sorry, Ash.
As soon as I said it, I was like, I already know who worst on ground is.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, dear God. Mate, tell us a little bit about when you started. So you started with Harris Electrical in 2020, July 2020.
Yep.
5 years this year, 5 years this month coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Lovely.
Time flies.
Mate, I believe you started with us. Funny story, that one. You started with us as a chauffeur.
I did.
Mr. Bossman lost his licence. We won't get into the details with that one. But lost his licence for 3 or 6 months.
I think it was 3.
3 months, and I needed a driver, and that's where you happened. What were you doing at the time?
I was at uni at the time and just kind of fit in pretty well, actually.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So started driving me around. I don't know how. I remember where it was. It was kind of. It was at the Harris's place at Hunter Street. Probably the first job that you actually come inside with me at. And I had you straightening PowerPoints and straightening lights and that. I don't know how far in that 3 months it was, but and then I remember like a couple of days later you come into the office and we had a chat and you said, I think I want to be a leco.
Yeah.
And like I'd never thought of that. I don't think you'd ever thought of that.
No, it never crossed my mind, but
you were just driving me around and
kind of
getting the hang of it,
and
you were sick of driving me around.
it's kind of come up.
And that's how it all began. And then I think we put you, as soon as that happened, we gave you a little trial and all went well, and we put you straight on as an apprentice.
Yep, I'm loving it ever since.
Up from there.
Yeah.
And tradesman as of mid this year.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a couple of weeks and I'll be. Yep.
Fantastic. Licence. Yeah, good. So as I said, we gave you a trial. You done really well. Gave you an apprenticeship, and then we've never looked back. What do you do outside of work?
At the moment, I'm really into my golf.
Yep. Nice.
I'm not very good, but kept going back.
Yep.
Going through a bit of a running phase at the moment too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that down there at Park Run.
Yeah,
you done
a
marathon?
Yeah, Easter weekend. Yeah. Got that done.
How many k's is that?
42.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Crazy. How'd you go? Felt alright?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I did it with a few of the boys.
Yep.
So kind of did it as a group and then broke off towards the end. But body held up alright. A couple of days after that, I was pretty sore. But,
I bet it was.
Yeah.
You do awesome. Much prep leading into it, or?
I went up first, decided I want to do it. I did a bit, and then I kind of dropped off a little bit, and then.
What about like hydrating and meals? I know that's your weakness.
Yeah, look, not me. I had a few gels and stuff on the day. You had a carbonara the night before.
You done alright for you.
Tried.
It wasn't the normal soft drink and hot chips with salt on them.
Yeah,
extra salt on them. But no, that's good, mate. So golf and running.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, changed a bit.
And mate, I've seen a lot recently. The annual beer pong tournament seems to be taking off. That'd be 5 or 6 years in the running.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years next year, actually.
Yeah, good.
So, yeah.
What's that about? How'd that come around?
Honestly, we just used it as an excuse the first year to catch up with all the boys, and then year after that we kind of added a few more rules and a few more people were keen, and now we have to cap it at 16 teams and have a rule book, and it's a really big day. Everyone gets around it. So
I see it on socials a fair bit. So what do you set up numerous tables, 2-man teams versus each other, elimination straight away? So if you
so we have 4 pools, and there's 4 teams in each pool, and you play each other once, and then you play another team a second time, and there's points and for and against and stuff, and the top 2 from each go through, and then it's like a NRL finals from them.
Yeah, right. Nice.
Yeah.
You won it yet?
No, I haven't. Not yet. It's coming.
Anyone won it more than once?
No.
Different one every year?
Different one every year. Nick Pearce and Brad have come close, but yeah.
Nick would be devastated too, wouldn't he?
He hates losing that bloke.
So is Brad, to be honest.
Yeah.
That'd be Devo.
Yeah, not happy.
That's gold.
Back in blood.
Mate, any big plans for the future? What are you... other than running my company for the rest of your life, what are you thinking?
No, honestly, mate, I'm not too sure. I'm just pretty focused on getting me tickets at the moment, sorting that out. Ricky and I would pay the house off, and then look on to bigger and better things. A bit more travelling. In the books.
Yeah, you've kind of exhausted all your annual leave. So.
Yeah, gotta build that back up.
The boys don't know how you get so much. You do it well. A little bit of a recap on last week, mate. So we had the man himself, Cam Johansson, on. You said you played a bit of golf there, so he's taking over Singleton Golf Club as GM. This would be his second week. I haven't heard from him this week, but I'm sure he's doing a great job. We had a fair few comments and I had a fair few phone calls last week after the podcast. Just saying how good it was and a bit of an insight into, I guess, a club in Singleton, and they're looking forward to seeing what he can do with it. So am I, actually. Really exciting to see what he can do. The old Cam, but a little bit of footy. So most people would have done this, but it's the first time for me. 7 from 8 last week.
Yeah, I think I might have gone 7 from 8, close to. Knights surprised me there.
They did, and I stuffed up here because I went Manly, which was my only tip wrong of the week. But Cam Johansson told me, and last he said, nah. He said, I don't know how to pick him. He said, but the way Knights have been going at win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. And he said they lost the week before, Manly won. He said, so we'll flip that this week.
Yeah, right.
And then when they come back and won, I thought, I should have listened to him. So it was a fairly good game. They're underperforming both teams this year for the calibre that they have in their squad. The only exciting thing about the Knights is Fletcher Sharp.
Oh, sign him for 10 years.
Wow.
Honestly.
I said to I don't know who, I think I was saying to Butto when I was interviewing him, I said, mate, if Sharp had come along 3 years ago, they wouldn't have signed Ponga.
Nah, not a chance.
He's a weapon.
He's an electric guy.
And to be honest, I'd probably even like to see Sharp at fullback and move Ponga into 5'8". I know he had his head notch when they moved him into 5'8", but learn to tackle.
Well, it can't be that hard.
Yeah, correct. And Storm, they asserted their dominance again, mate. You can't really go past them. They were great. Dolphins showed that they're a big top 4 contender.
They're smoky, yeah.
100%. As I said before, Bennett knew what he was doing with Katoa. Andrew Johns actually had a lot to say in an interview I watched during the week about Katoa and the Dolphins, and was saying that there's a big difference between him and the Sharks and Nicho Hynes. So he was talking about being a halfback, especially in your advantage zone. The best way to see a good halfback and a bad halfback and why teams run out of space on the edge is where their hips are. So he said Katoa's really good he catches the ball, his hips are square with the try line, and if he turns to bring someone under, obviously he turns his hips, but before he passes it again, he straightens his hips back up to the try line and kind of angles in, which draws the defenders to him, and that's when he plays out the back or plays short. When Nicho Hynes, if you focus on it this week and you watch, Nicho drifts too far crossfield, and when they pass the ball is when Joey's saying that's where you want your hips square. If you look at Nicho when he passes the ball, his hips are pointing at the corner post. So that's a big struggle with the Sharks' defence at the moment, is they're playing too side to side and they're not getting the overlap. And if you watch it this weekend, it'll be because Nicho and is it Trindle? Their hips are always angled at the corner post when they're passing it, where you like Katoa, your Cleary, your Luai, they're straightening back up and facing their hips to the try line, which is creating that space. It's drawing defenders in. So I thought that was a really good plug by.
Yeah, he's an old head on young body. Katoa, he's gonna do big things, I reckon.
Weapon. Warriors and their halves, they ran right again.
Luke Metcalf, he's a smoky for the Dally M, I reckon. He's playing some pretty good footy this year.
Yeah. I agree. And it was funny because Willie Mason had a lot to say about him at the start of the season and said they're gone because they've got Metcalf. And the last episode that him and Hoz had, he said, is he New South Wales or Queensland? And Hoz was like, you're kidding. You come out here and say, nah, they're gone because of Metcalf, and now you want him in Origin. So, mate, he has come out of his shell a lot. I'm a bit biased because obviously I'm a halfback in footy, and I've grown up watching only halfbacks on the field. So, in my opinion, if you don't have a good halfback, you can't win a comp. No. And I think that shows in history. Roosters were kind of middle bottom tier. Cooper Cronk goes there 2 in a row. Yeah, you definitely need a good halfback to win a comp. So most of this is plugs on halfbacks, and that's why their teams are going so well. A big one, which I never thought I'd be saying, Ezra Mann. Wow. Yeah. As soon as his first game back, I said straight away to my uncle, I said, mate, he's an Origin player.
I think Reece Walsh unlocks the best in him too.
I agree.
On each other. They play great with each other.
Completely agree, but mate, Ezra Mann, I think I've won the last 2 games he's played. I've won money on him. The first one was for first try scorer, and the second one was for, I don't know, try assist or something like that. But he's killing it. He definitely deserves to be in Origin. Yeah. Without a doubt. And I think, what have they got him at in Origin?
They've got him 18th man, but
I
don't know if it'll change or not. I'm not too sure. I think there's a lot of changes could come in that team.
Yeah, I reckon there will be as well. I mean, you can't change Dearden and Munster. Well, Munster's captain, so he's not getting changed. Dearden will obviously be halfback. Man, 17 maybe? 14, 17?
14,
You've got Kurt Mann there as well, though.
Yeah, they've got a light bench already.
Yeah, it's tough. But he can break the game open.
Oh, he can definitely, yeah.
For sure. Again, Raiders have been consistent.
Would have dropped off by now, but
they're boring to watch. I don't like watching them. They're boring, but they're just consistently good. They just grind, try. Which is rare. Like they haven't been consistent over the past couple of years.
Not really.
So it's good to see them up there, but I'd like to see them come down a few pegs so Penrith can slot into the top 4.
You would,
Penrith have gone through the 13th spot. And then they'll have the bye this weekend, and they'll go to 11th.
Keeping track, aren't you?
But then we've got the Dogs. That's a tough one. We might.
Origin.
They'll all back up. Galvin's going to be fresh there.
Yeah.
It'll be a good game, mate. The Parramatta Panthers the week before and Parramatta Dogs this week. Like Parramatta Panthers were 2 bottom sides. Yeah. Dogs and Parramatta were top versus bottom. Both them games were like watching a major final.
Yeah, they had that intensity about them, eh?
There's nothing between top and last, except for the Titans. Take Titans out of it, there's nothing between top and 15th.
Yeah, anyone can beat anyone. It's crazy.
100%. But yeah, it's a very tough comp this year. Dogs went well. They went really well. Galvin, that was a fairy tale ending, really. Come on, score it. I was driving with Cam actually. Cam was watching it on his phone. He's a dog supporter, and you knew it was going to happen. You could feel it. He was going to score.
Yeah, I think they had him for $5 for scoring time or something like that.
Which, for someone that's going to play 20 minutes and it's their first game, that's very short odds. Yeah. Everyone would have been on him. But yeah, I had a few wins on the punt last week, which was it's a first in our podcast history here. First 2 weeks were blunders. Third week we had a Eagle Farm got washed out. It got abandoned. I still won about $200, but this week was a very good week. So our first of the day, Hidden Motive, Nathan Doyle's horse, it won. Nathan Doyle actually got a double at Randwick. And Nathan Doyle, Ash Morgan combo, they got the first and second race. I didn't back the second one, but the first one I had. Cool Jakey, it was $15. I had that each way. It come 4th. It was a tough run, but it still ran really well. Headley Grange won. It got up at $4. That was another one of my tips. Had a same race multi, Spacewalk and Punch Lane, top 4. Spacewalk got 3 and Punch Lane got 6, so just missed out there. Mount Butler was Mount Buller, was disappointing. My best of the day, Sunrays at $3.20. It got up. Churchill's Choice at $16. It just got 5th. So again, another close race. The winner of that race was actually Yu Wang. Greg Harris horse.
Oh,
You know
really?
Greg and Lindy Harris in town?
Yeah.
So that was a Group 1 race, and he actually put a video on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. He kind of had the phone here and they were videoing themselves, and they were all jumping up and down, and the horse was coming home, and the whole family was there. Sam, Greg, Lindy and Annie.
Oh, nice.
It was good to see. It's good to see, know someone that's horses winning a Group 1 race.
Well.
That's awesome. Giga Kick, it come 5th. It followed Jolly Star the whole way. Jolly Star just got home for a good ride, and Emphasis was a close 6th. But all up, I think I come away with about 500 out of them tips. So won about 4 out of 8. 2 of them were my best of the day. So it was a very good day. So everyone needs to jump on board now. Follow me tips.
Have to.
You'll win some money.
You're on a streak.
100%. A little bit on what's on next week at Harris Electrical. So we actually got training Tuesday. I don't know what that's about. I saw it in the schedule when I was doing my notes. I think KB must have organised some training for Sledder. Do you know where that is?
I'm not too sure, but
You know something
something
up his sleeve. But Sledder's the new racking that we're using for solar panels. It's mint, hey?
It's good. It's so easy, man.
Yeah.
Like, takes a lot of time off the installation.
Yeah, correct. And that's one of the reasons we started using it. One is because it takes time off installation, which is more profit for the business. And 2, it makes your lives easier as well. And if you guys are, happy on site and liking the equipment you're installing, then it's a win-win for everyone. And it's really light too, hey?
It's really light. You used to be able to carry 2 of the rails, but now you carry 6 if you really want. They look, slick too. Yeah,
that's perfect. So a bit of training on that on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we've got 2 systems we're finishing off. One out there at Building Wise and one out there at Warners Bay. So just some tidying up to do. They've actually got a videographer out there at Building Wise on the Wednesday. So get on the roof with our polished volleys on and see a drone flying around and get some pickies. Thursday, we've got another SIG system. What do you reckon about SIG?
It's good.
Good to install?
Yeah, really good. Really easy. Looks like top notch.
Good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I when we had that men's mental health barbecue on what day is today? Yesterday.
Yes.
I walked in and I saw we had one displayed in the showroom there, and I didn't realise it was on. And like all the lights up and down in the LED screen has different colours, and the lights down the side actually show you how full and empty it is.
Yeah, no, they're really well done.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Actually, the client that you went to today, he asked me, he rang me, he said, "Oh, can I turn these lights off?" And I was like, "What do you want to turn them off for?" He's like, "I just don't like looking at them. I'm going to put some tape over them." I was like, "Oh, anyway, they're not that bright."
Fine.
Yeah. So another SIG system in Newcastle on Thursday. You in particular, so you're a part of our solar team. What's that involved?
Solar.
Yeah.
Solar.
Everything.
Yeah, solar everything. So 2 days a week installs, and then the other day just servicing and fault finding systems of people that aren't working.
Yeah. And I've said this before, but that's a full-time job, hey?
Yeah.
Like there's a system you're going to on Friday at Neath, a pub at Neath, Neath Pub.
Yeah.
They've spent a fortune on their power bills were $40,000 a quarter. So they've spent an absolute fortune on putting this big system on, and they haven't got any savings. And so they rang me and they said, "Can you look at it? Like our other installers not answering the phone." And I'm like, they probably haven't even put the meter paperwork in. Way too many of them.
Yeah.
And there's another one that you're going to. An electrician in town actually recommended this company. I've never heard of the company before. To put a battery in. So they've gone there and put the battery in, and they've put it right at the front door. And so like the front door doesn't even open the whole way, and you just got a big eyesore at your front door. Like, it's just crazy, but it keeps us in the job.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Go around and check them all out, test them, service them. But yeah, you and Dill, all solar.
Yeah.
Everywhere. You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Good. It's always different as well.
Yeah, for sure. And the fault finding thing would be cool. Like, obviously everyone you go to is going to have a different fault, so trying to work out what's going on and what some other bastard's fucked up.
Yeah, pretty much. It's always scary going to someone else's job.
100%. We've actually got a lot of commercial repairs and installs this week as well. So for a lot of well-known companies at Mason due there. So we've got a lot for Morgan's next week. Morgan's Engineering, Garland's Engineering, HVL, Valley Brake and Clutch. Got an enormous amount of work going on there. So Mickey Boy will handle that next week. He loves that kind of shit.
He loves
He's
it.
a little nerd.
Dom's starting to love it too.
Is he really? I can
he's
see.
getting on the Nick train.
I can see Dom going up to be a little junior Mick.
Yeah.
Both geeks at what they do.
Little Kenner, that's what we call him.
They froth it.
Yeah, he loves it.
He's upgraded from Franger to Canner.
Yeah.
God. Mate, moving into some industry news. Again, we're talking about the battery rebate. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, it's got scrap, isn't it?
Man, so Labor obviously brought out new federal rebate coming into play. Pick us for Parliament, which we all did. Fantastic.
Not all of us.
Yeah, not all of us. But they got in and, mate, they've openly come out and said that on national TV, on all of it, yep, you can pair the old PRC rebate and pair that with the new federal rebate. Get two rebates at once, and we're all sitting there going, perfect. So when that come out, all the politicians are saying, yep, it's approved, it's good, whatever. And now, as of Tuesday, they turned around and sent an email to I'll tell you how they released it, actually. They released a news article and big headlines about virtual power plants. So selling power back to the grid and customers receiving more money for it. They're doubling the price and everyone's like, yeah. And then you scroll down to like page 6 and it says, in other news, the PRC rebate has been scrapped. And they've just hidden it in the T's and C's there. Someone's seen it and just plastered it everywhere. So unfortunately, I've had the joy of ringing 12 clients today that have signed up for it. They were well aware. I made them aware when we done the proposal that, hey, this isn't legislated, anything could happen, but let's see how we go. Unfortunately, had the pleasure of ringing N12 today, and mate, they all handled it really well. So obviously, it's nothing to do with us, not our fault, but the government strikes again.
It's pretty disappointing.
Mate,
It's one of the first of many promises to be broken, I think.
Every year.
Yeah.
Every fucking year. Like, mate, you can see, this just proves why I don't vote. It shits me to tears, mate, but anyway, the federal rebate's still a great thing. It's 40% of the total price of the battery, so it's great, but it would have been better to have that extra 2, 3, 4,000 on top as well. Especially when you're promising it to get into Parliament.
Yeah, you don't.
Mate, it'd just be like me saying, hey, Loch, come work for me. I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. And you sign your contract, and on your first week, I pay you. I'm like, I'm going to drive 30. They're just wankers, mate. I don't know how it's anyway. But mate, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of high up solar installers and big names in the industry that have actually taken it to Parliament. So they're starting petitions. They're getting lawyers involved. Nothing's going to happen, I don't think, or nothing's going to eventuate from it. But
probably not. It never does.
But it's good. Hopefully we can stick it to them in some way. But just goes to show, don't vote.
Don't vote for Alba.
Yeah, correct. Mate, yeah. Anyway, moving on to some NRL chat. So this week coming up, we've got a few buys, so it's a bit of a short week. We've obviously got Origin on Wednesday, but the first game on Thursday, we've got the Sharkies v the Dragons. Sloane's in.
Sloane is in, yep.
Holmes out.
Yep.
What was Kale Ero's name before Kale Ero?
I'm pretty sure it's still Kale Ero, but it's spelled Kayal or something like that.
Why did he change that?
I don't know, something to do with his dad, I think. I'm not sure.
Weird. But anyway, he's the leading try scorer for the Sharks. He's gone.
He's gone, he's in his Supercoach.
Is he really?
He was.
Solid.
He's doing so well.
Beautiful. Man, that's a tough game to pick, I reckon.
Yeah. Cronulla.
Cronulla?
I think Cronulla.
Why?
I don't think they're missing anyone for Origin.
That's not a good sign, is it?
No. There's still some quality players in there.
Oh.
I think Hines and Trindle, they can just show up some games.
Yeah.
And if they're at Shark Park, which I think they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I think they'll be up for that.
I'm going to go Sharks 2. I'm going to go... is it Molotalo?
Yeah.
I'm going to go him. He's paying $5.50 to score one of the first 3 tries.
Ooh,
It's good odds.
That's not bad.
Yeah, put $100 on that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good, especially against the Dragons.
Yeah.
The one thing Nico can do is kick. Just kick it to him, score the try, get it done. Titans Manly. Cherry Evans obviously has been dropped from Origin, so he will start for Manly. Turbo is named to start as well.
Yep.
Anything could happen there. He could trip over on the way out into the field, break a toe, who knows. There's actually rumour of him moving to the Super League.
Yeah, I've seen that. I hope that's not true.
What do you reckon about that?
Oh, surely not. Like, he's wasted over there. I know he's injury prone, but...
Can you imagine how much he would tear it up over there?
Considering Herman SAS is like second in the Dalians over there.
Bevan French?
Yeah.
Bevan French couldn't even get a start in the wing for Parramatta.
He's killing it over there.
100%.
Like,
And he even went well. I don't know what the difference is in the game over there. I don't know if it's a faster pace or whatnot, but even when he versed... No, when he played at Las Vegas,
oh, yeah.
killed it as well.
Yeah, they smashed that.
Mate, I think Manly, look, as I said before, Titans aren't even included in this strong comp this year. It's like the comp and the Titans.
Yeah. I think DCA comes out with a bit of a chip on his shoulder too.
Yeah.
You got something to prove.
100%. Yeah, good point. Yeah, sure. Manly 13 plus, I reckon.
Yeah, good one.
Knights and Roosters. All 3 of these games we talked about absolute shit house. Like, I don't know if I'll watch any footy this weekend. They're all boring as batshit. This is probably the most exciting one though. Sam Walker's back.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I hope they haven't rushed him back, honestly.
I don't think they have. They were talking about it like 5 weeks ago, and he was due to return about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And someone said, "Oh, Roosters can't make the top 8 or something," which I think they can. That's changed now. But they said, "Don't play him this year. Just rest him."
Oh, that's...
Correct.
Don't leave a Ferrari in the garage.
No, you don't, mate. You don't. What did he do his knee?
Yeah, he did ACL.
Yeah. It's been about 12 months.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how he comes out.
And he's paired with Hugo Salava.
Mm-hmm.
He's been playing really well.
He's a big body.
Yeah.
He's a really big boy.
I wouldn't be surprised if they play... So obviously Sam Walker's named at halfback, I think, and Hugo's at 5'8", but I wouldn't be surprised if they play the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Sam Walker's at halfback and Hugo's at 5'8". I wouldn't be surprised if you see Hugo take control of the game, just kick, take a lot of pressure off, and Sam Walker just run.
Yeah.
That's where he's best at, right?
Yeah, he's great runner. It's great taking the line on.
100%. I definitely don't think he's a halfback. He's a 5'8" for sure. Cowboys Dolphins, probably getting a little bit better. Dolphins obviously lose Hammer, but I still think they're too strong.
Yeah, no Dearden for the Cowboys.
Exactly.
Huge.
There's no flair. Mate, he's a great player.
Dearden, yeah.
He's a
got
great
some
player.
about him.
I was saying last week when he come on in the Origin, I got nervous. Like we were dominant all game, and I was like, "This is a breach. We've got him covered." And then Dearden comes on, and I think the first touch he skips cross field and makes a half break.
Yeah, no, he's something else. Broncos let him go, and I still will never forgive him for that.
Broncos let a lot of good players go.
Yeah.
They've obviously kept them now, but they've had a history of them and the Knights.
Yeah,
let all their good players go.
All the juniors, they just let Walk go. It's crazy.
Look at Josh King. Couldn't even get a start in reserve grade. Now he's he's playing nearly 80 minutes at different positions, but he's played 80 minutes for Lock there for a long time for the Melbourne Storm. So, but yeah, Dolphins too good. Tommy Dearden, obviously he probably broke out 2-3 years ago, and he was playing really well. And it was his show and go game and his running game that really excelled. But I think recently, like end of last year and this year, he's really come into his passing game and kicking game too.
Yeah.
Like, he is a solid all-round halfback. He can get you with a cutout ball, he can get you with a short ball, get you with a kick, or he can just do what he does best and just run it.
Yeah.
Very dangerous player.
It's his work off the ball as well. Defensively, he's great. Like,
tough.
Yeah, tough. Does not matter who you are, he will tackle you.
He's like my size.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of the smallest halfbacks in the NRL. Tough.
Yeah, no, big fan he is.
That's unreal. And then we finish off. Oh, who are we going to go there? Dolphins or Cowboys?
Fins up.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably go 13 plus.
Yeah, I'll
as
go
well.
comfortably. Yeah.
Did we pick between Knights and Roosters? I don't think we did.
Didn't.
No.
Yeah, Chookies.
I agree.
I think Chooks.
I agree. I'm pretty sure. No, I went Dragons.
Did you go Dragons, did you?
I've gone all away teams this year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this round. So I've gone Dragons, Manly, Roosters, Dolphins, and the last game. No, I couldn't have because Dogs and Rabbits. No.
Oh, yeah,
No.
right. I'm going the Rabbits there.
You were going the Rabbits.
I'm going the Rabbits, mate. I reckon they're in for an upset.
No, Rabbits are home team. So I did. Yeah, I went all away teams. So I went Dogs. Yeah, I went Dogs. Nah, kidding.
Nah, I reckon it's one of those games that.
Who do you reckon breaks it open?
Keelan's been playing pretty well.
Yep.
I reckon off the back of him, they can do anything. He's just been playing some really good footy at the moment.
Yeah. Jai Gray is back at full.
Yeah.
I don't know how that. He got dropped. Does he come back with confidence or chip on his shoulder? Maybe?
I think he comes back. I think I might have read too much into it, but they dropped him because they knew Latrell was going to be gone. They just want to keep his match fitness up. He's only going to be playing 15 minutes off the bench, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's too good not to have him in the squad most of the time.
That's a fair call. Why did they drop Humphries though? Humphries went to the bench last week, and who started? Sullivan.
Sullivan, yeah, not it. Not it.
They're still. They went okay last week. The Raiders ran away with it in the end, but you're gonna go Rabbits. I'm gonna go Dogs. Dogs for sure. Galvin runs a mark.
You reckon?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of how he's handled himself, and I think he's I think he's glory hunting. I think he chose the Dogs because they're on top. But mate, the size of the spuds on him, he's just gonna walk out there and go, "This is my game." He'll just take control and do what he does best. Just he's got no stress, no worries at all. He's that young that he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He'll run right, I reckon. I don't know about Mahoney or 9. I think he's in a bit of a... But they've got Jake Turpin there, so they'll probably hook him.
Yeah.
Put Turpin on there at 9. I wouldn't be surprised if they even do that before the game.
Yeah, right. He's doing it tough a bit.
He's on the
Marnie. Yeah, definitely.
He's on the out. He annoys me. He's like a Mick Ennis.
He's like Mick Ennis, isn't he?
Mick Ennis has got in his ear and gone, hey, be like me.
You should do this.
Oh, so annoying.
Yeah,
But anyway, moving into Origin. So, New South Wales stays the same except for Mitch Barnett. Kalamatangi comes in for him. But then today, in breaking news, as I said to you, I was pulled over, had a bite to eat, and the first thing that popped up was Luai in Origin. I was like, what the fuck's happened here? Go on and have a look. Moses has done his calf.
Yeah.
It's a big loss for Parramatta.
It's a huge loss. I don't know how long they think he's going to be out for.
Getting scans tomorrow. So we should find out soon.
Yep.
What was he out for previously?
Ankle, maybe?
Yeah, that's tough. But New South Wales don't lose much with Luai coming in.
I'm more concerned about Luai playing than I was Moses.
I couldn't agree more. He's a dangerous ball runner.
Yeah. When he gets under their skin, he can just rise them up.
Now, they had Burton there at 18th man. The question was asked today, why not just bring Burton? Burton had a blinder on Monday. Absolute blinder. Man of the match in that Bulldogs win against Parramatta. Why not bring him into 5'8"? And what's the coach's name? Laurie Daly. Loz come out and said, well, mate, he said Luai's won 4 premierships. He won last year's series. And he's played with that edge in Origin. Yeah. So it's not unknown territory. He's playing with Cleary, who he's grown up playing with for the last 20 odd years, and he's back on the same edge that they won the comp with last year. So, or won the series with. So they all never know each other.
You can slot in 10 minutes before the game starts, and not bad an eye, honestly. But
he'll have 2 or 3 training sessions. I think 2 training sessions actually. They said, and he'll be fine. But Queensland, on the other hand, they've had a shake up. They've shook the shit out of that tree.
Yeah.
Dearden comes in for Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans is gone. That was going to happen sooner or later. Probably should have been done first round.
Yeah, I think if you pick him in the first game, you pick him for the second game.
Yeah.
You don't just make him scapegoat.
It probably won't affect him, but can affect him as a person.
Yeah, definitely.
They should have just spoken to him before the series and said, look, mate, even though you're in form at the moment, or I don't think he's in form, but if they reckoned he was in form, they could have said, rightio, you're moving on, you're leaving Manly this year, we don't even know what you're doing next year, we need to look into the future, we're going to bring Dearden in. Not playing for game 1 and then go, oh, we lost, you're gone, because, mate, to be honest, the forwards gave him nothing.
Yeah, it's hard to play footy if he's coming out your 20 every time you touch the ball.
100%. 100%. Our forwards were dominant. He had nothing to do, nothing to play with. His kicking game was off, that is expected, but he wouldn't do that 2 games in a row. To be honest, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but I'm very worried about Dearden coming in.
I'm really excited to see what he does.
Yep.
Honestly.
I agree.
I think it'd be nice.
I agree. My biggest worry is Capewell in the back row.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that pick.
He has the most missed tackles in the NRL. And he's going to be up against... Who's he going to be up against?
Hopefully not Crichton. He'll run rampant.
Crichton or Liam Martin.
Yeah.
And he's got the most missed tackles in the NRL. I don't know about that. I do not know about that.
Look, he's not a bad player in attack. He's always around the ball, but yeah, Corey Horsburgh's there to look in.
I agree.
Over Capes. He's got that aggro that I think they need.
100%. Mate, Capewell's played centres for the Warriors the last 2 weeks as well. So in unfamiliar territory, and he's moving on. He's
getting on a bit.
He's getting slow. I reckon that's going to be the biggest weakness for Queensland. You got Kurt Mann at 14. I think that's a big in. Yeah. Again, just tough. He'll come in and just do a job.
Yeah.
Then you got Ezra Mam. Does he come in at 6 for Munster at half time? Does he go to 14? Does he? I don't know what their plan is with him.
I'm not too sure, honestly. I think another big one is Paddy Garrigan going back to the bench.
Yes.
I don't see that.
Mate, the Broncos started off well this year and then had a bit of a slump in the middle, and they put Carrigan back to 13, played him 80 minutes. Ezra Mann comes back in the side, Reece Walsh comes back in the side. They're a top 4 contender.
Yeah, easily.
But then, if they don't play Ezra Mann, they put Paddy to the bench. Who do they put at lock other than Paddy?
Trent Liera. Not a ball playing lock, he just kind of chugs it up. That's about it.
It's like Billy's clutching at straws, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to do something that's probably not going to happen, because even Cotter could play 13.
Yeah, correct.
And Nanai off the bench as well. It's just, I don't understand what he's trying to do with the team.
I think he's clutching at straws. Like, he's a smart coach, but I think he's feeling the pressure a little bit. Has he won a series yet?
He won his first 2.
And then lost his next 2.
I think.
Well, this is the 4th one.
I'm
getting ahead of myself, but yeah. And I'd say there'd be a clause in his contract that 3 and you're out.
Yeah, surely.
Like Fittler had.
Yeah.
I reckon he's clutching at straws.
Yeah. I do think, like I said, there'll be a few changes before kickoff.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Cotter, maybe a lock.
Yeah.
Nanai start.
Or just leave Paddy there.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even get rid of Mam and put get rid of Kurt Mann and put Ezra Mann straight at 14, because he can come on, he can play. Even put him at 9. Like, if you imagine 10 minutes before, like, just he's fast, darting out of 9, 10 minutes before half time, 20 minutes before full time, dangerous.
Yeah,
dangerous. After all the tough stuff's done.
Interesting to see how Grant goes after his game 1. That was
I don't rate him. I honestly don't rate Grant. I never have.
Yeah,
I think he's a tough player. He doesn't offer any flair. I don't think he has that flair. I think he's a solid, consistent, tough player. I think he makes a lot of errors in eyes up footy. So, when they're in their own 20, I reckon I'm going to say 25% of the time he goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you can see Munster blowing up and Hughes blowing up. He just chooses it's like he's not looking and he's like, oh, everyone expects me to go that way, I'm going to go the opposite way. Yeah. He done it last weekend on a short side and it was last and it just handed the ball over.
And he kicked it as well, he did it as well. He
correct.
Did that, I did say that, like, what are you doing, man?
I don't, he doesn't offer flair for me. Obviously Ben Hunt's injured, he'd be my pick.
Yeah,
but yeah, put Grant there, let him do the tough stuff, 25-30 minutes, Ezra Mam straight on, or even if they leave Kurt Mann there, one of them straight on at 9, and that's when they'll open the game.
Open it up.
I still reckon New South Wales got it. I reckon it's going to go to Golden Point, and I reckon Cleary, the Iceman, it's the only stadium that he hasn't really proved himself in his origin. Obviously, he's won 4 premierships, 5th one this year. He's played for Australia, done well there. He hasn't really exceeded in the Blues department yet. I reckon he kicks a field goal to win us the series in Golden Point next Wednesday.
Yeah, that'd be something.
You're obviously going for
Queensland, but they need to pull something out of the hat to beat this Blues team. They're something else.
Correct, they are, mate. Tails are turned a little bit, like you
Yeah.
guys were solid there with Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk first, and Billy Slater.
Yeah.
Still got a solid team, still scary, but we've finally got the run of the
Yeah.
run of the cup.
Very, very hard to beat.
For sure. Moving into some horse racing. Again, tracks could change, weather, whatnot, so I'll post in the comments on YouTube for anyone that's tuning in to have a look and just see an update on the tracks and any changes I'll make. I'll also put these tips in the comments as well. But we're going to go 2 from 2. So everything you won last week, throw on this week. Get it done. The biggest thing I've been doing is first, second or third try scorer. So I reckon I've done that, again this is out of horse racing, but for punting, I've done that the last couple of weeks, and I've done maybe 7 out of 10, and 7 of them were 1.
Yeah, right.
They pay good odds. They're all above $3,
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So I'll do a few of them as well. Keep an eye on that. We got race 6 at Rose Hill, Pure Alpha with Jay Ford. It's a Chris Waller horse, 1500 BM78. Likes a little bit of giving the track. Now obviously it hasn't rained recently, but all the weather we've had, it's still going to be a bit wet. So it's at $5.50, Pure Alpha. Race 9, Rose Hill, Cormac T. It won 2 weeks ago for me. Braith knocks on it, 2,000 metres, BM78. It's its 4th start, so it's going to be at its fittest.
Yeah.
It's ready to roll. So Cormac T. Moving to Eagle Farm, race 2, Tenzing, 1,600 metres. It's Australian bloodstock horse, good form. Race 3, True Marvel. This one's got odds. This one, yes, it's a 3,200 metre race. Jason Collette's on it. It has been outside the top 10 its last 6 races. Last time it ran at a 3,200, it come first by lengths.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's paying about $16 at the moment. I'd go each way, but True Marvel, I reckon that's a good odds on bet for the weekend. Race 6, Aerodrome. This is my uncle's horse, Sean's horse.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yep. It ran in a stakes race 2 weeks ago. It was a heavy 9, didn't go any good. It's definitely not a heavy runner. It needs goggles and flippers to run in the wet. It's no good. But this weekend at race 6 in the JJ Atkins Stakes, it's a $1 million race. Regan Bayliss on it again. It's had 3 starts for 2 wins and a very tough run on a heavy. It's paying $14. I'd go each way again. If the track's good. Needs to be a soft 6 or good. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Race 7, Floozy. It's 3 from 3. It's fit. It got scratched last week for this race. It's paying $6.50. That's my best of the day. Floozy. $6.50. Everyone get on that. Race 8, Punch Lane. It's the Stradbroke Handicap. $3 million race. Biggest race of the day. Definitely a place. But if you're up by race 8, throw it on the nose. Get the win in. And then race 9, after you've won all that money, throw a bit of money on Banker's Choice. Mark Zara. Last start was a little bit too short in distance. This one, distance goes out. It's paying $16 again. If you're struggling for cash that day, throw it on a place. You'll get some back. If you've won enough following my tips, put it all on the nose. You'll get up.
Okay.
What's your tip of the weekend for the footy, mate?
Tip of the weekend.
So you can use my $100 and I'll put it on. What are we doing?
I'm gonna go straight Origin actually. I'm gonna go.
Yep, on Wednesday.
I'm gonna go Ponga for a double.
Ponga for a double.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
He's getting petrol thrown on him for weeks now. He's got to go off at some point, mate.
Mate, I'd throw the lighter on him too, to be honest.
I don't know. I'm expecting big things from him. He's got to do something.
Yeah, it did.
Yes,
Munster in the halves, Ponga out the back.
He's
Could be onto something.
Looking to him.
The biggest thing is they need to go forward first.
Yeah, that's
Win
the
that
main
battle.
thing. I think need to figure something
Ponga
out.
for a double. I'll check them odds and I'll put it in the comment. Well, mate, that is a wrap. I don't know how long we've been going for. It's probably good timing, actually. Last one went for an hour. It was crazy. But that's a wrap for the week. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No, thanks for having me, man.
Don't forget everyone at home to like, follow, share, comment. Our $500 draw will be next week. We'll give that away to someone who has liked, subscribed, shared and commented. And if you see Lochie around, throw him a chocolate milk. Thanks for coming on. Before we go, big question for yourself, question of the week. If you could wire something into someone's brain for success, what's it going to be?
I think I'm going to go with resilience. Resilience, yeah. You know, I think you know yourself, you're on the way to success, you face a lot of hurdles and stuff, and it's how you handle that and back yourself up, keep going.
Yep. No, that's good. And mate, to be honest, I probably see that in yourself. Like you've had a few. I think you started before you went to uni. You were working out at the pits there somewhere. Moorfields.
Yeah,
that didn't work.
Yep.
Got straight back up. Start the uni degree. Wasn't a fan of that. Straight back up. Started driving me around. Thought I'll try this out. Done your electrical apprenticeship, and then look where you are now. Yep. So, very, very. I think resilience is a big one, mate. And works well with what you've done as well. So, no, that's good, mate. But yeah, drop your answers in the comments. Any questions that you want for next week. So next week's guest, we have the Aaron Bullock.
Oh, nice.
Aaron Bullock's coming on. He's got 4 rides, 4 days of racing this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He's going to have a bit of a break and come on next Wednesday. So we'll have a chat to him and see how he went on the weekend and talk all things horse industry. So I think last year he got the Jockey Championships of the Year for New South Wales and Australia.
Yep.
And then he just won the Country Championship Stakes race about 3 weeks ago. So he's in form.
Big smiles.
Yeah, so we'll get him across the table next week and have a yarn to him. But until then, drop your comments and we'll see what questions we got for him. Unplug us there, brother.